Hey, cadets! It's episode 48 of the franchise. I'm your host, Daniel Ehrenberg.
And I'm your co-host, Henry Papali, and welcome actually to episode 49.
Oh, well, it's never too late for that.
That's right.
And today we're covering Rush Hours 2 and 3.
Yep.
Couple more Ratner fests.
Ugh,
Yeah.
our boy Brett. You ever met anyone named Brett that was cool?
No.
No, me neither.
Yeah. Is there anyone you could think of that's even famous?
Brett Saberhagen. That's about it.
Ooh.
That's the only one
Boston Red Sox journeyman pitcher Brett Saberhagen?
That's all I could think of.
Yeah, pretty good. For my Surviving Survivor listeners, there's Brett, the gay, what was it, firefighter or policeman from season 33 of Survivor?
Wow.
Is that right? 32 or 33?
Yeah, no, I think it's 32, season 32.
It might be.
Yeah, I remember.
No, it's 33. Okay.
33. Okay.
Let's start with Rush Hour 2. How about that? Directed by Brett Ratner and written by his new collaborator, who also wrote the third one, Jeff Nathanson. A man who has spent his career failing upward.
Is that right?
Yeah, you know anything about this fella?
Nope.
Well, we'll be covering him again on the franchise at some point because he wrote Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. And then Rush Hour 2. And then Steven Spielberg saw both those movies and was like, I need this guy.
Oh, my.
All right? I gotta get this Nathanson fella. Those two movies were great.
Right.
So Jeff Nathanson went on to write 3 Steven Spielberg films.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Uh-huh. Catch Me If You Can.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a good movie. But then, how about this? The Terminal.
Okay.
More like The Interminable. Am I right?
I didn't hate that movie. Like
Oh,
everyone
come
else,
on.
But it's totally fine to make fun of it. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal
Ooh.
Skull. Uh-huh. So this guy has spent his career only working for Brett Ratner and Steven Spielberg.
Makes a lot of money then.
Yeah. Yeah, because he also went on to write Tower Heist.
Oh.
Yeah. And now his next credit coming up this summer. That's right, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales.
God.
So this is a guy that's been writing professionally in Hollywood, going on 30 years, 20 years? I'm bad at math.
Well,
Going on 30. Early
Okay.
90s was his start.
Okay.
He's like, he wrote Catch Me If You Can. You got to give him that one. But, man, he's never written anything good.
Yeah.
And he just keeps getting work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I wonder what the logic Spielberg used from the Terminal to going to like one of his biggest things, Indiana Jones, and being like, let's get this guy again. He can bring something to Crystal Skull.
I think he looked at his collaborators. He was like, who's written the big projects, right?
Yeah.
But that's not even true. That's bullshit because, like, he's worked with, like, John Logan and dudes like that, right?
Right.
Or, like, David Koepp.
Yeah, true. It's
Yeah.
true. He I don't know, he tries out different people. He doesn't have like a regular guy.
Oh, I'm looking at Crystal Skull now, and I gotta say, this movie has 4 writing credits.
That does not surprise me.
Yeah. So Jeff Nathanson is only one of... No, 3. Okay. So it's Jeff Nathanson, David Koepp, aforementioned. I called that one. And, of course, the great George Lucas.
Oh. Ooh. Yeah. Looking forward to covering those, though.
Sure. Let's put aliens in this one because I like aliens. Is that all right, Steven?
Yeah. definitely. It's fine.
Yeah.
George.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never saw it as stated previously, so.
Yeah, and Spielberg was like, George, let's make a deal. If we're making a movie together here, I'll put aliens in it if you let all of my characters have issues with their fathers. Sure thing, Steven. All right. Yeah.
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 That's probably the compromise. Yeah, the Hollywood compromise.
That's right.
Compromise of 2008.
Rush Hour 2 was released August 3rd, 2001. Sort of like the last important weekend in summer in terms of box office. A budget, I gotta say, of $90 million. What are you doing, Hollywood?
Yeah, man.
If a movie makes that much money on a $30 million budget, you can't then triple the budget.
Just keep it. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, there was a lot of expectations, right? I mean,
and I know Tucker held out for $20 million paydays on these bad boys.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Tucker was getting paid.
Wow.
Tucker's a guy that has no interest in having a career as an actor, but if you want to give him $20 million, he'll act for you.
There you go.
Yeah. Because, Rush Hour 2 comes 3 years after Rush Hour. There's nothing in between.
You're right. You're right.
And the same is true of Rush Hour 2 to 3.
Just nothing.
Nothing. He didn't make a movie for 6 years, and then he just was like, all right, I'll be in Rush Hour 3 if you pay me $20 million.
Yeah, it is weird. And then after Rush Hour 3, you don't see him again for another 5 years in Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah.
And he didn't get no $20 million for that.
No, I mean, that David O. Russell could get anyone to work with him. David O. Russell was probably like, you might get nominated for an Oscar. You probably will.
He was nominated with the cast for a SAG award.
Oh. Hey, Chris Tucker has awards because I'll tell you what. He won Best Actor for Rush Hour 2. That's right, at the Kids' Choice Awards.
You're right.
Yeah, it also won Best Movie.
And he was nominated for Best Comedic Performance at the MTV Movie Awards.
Did he lose that one?
Yes.
To who? Do you know?
I don't.
Oh, bummer.
Doesn't say that.
Yeah, but that's some awards. He's got a blimp. One of those orange blimps.
Oh, actually, I just found something real interesting. He was nominated for The Fifth Element and Money Talks for a Razzie Award for the Worst New Star.
Oh. Hey, you got nominated for Worst New Star twice? That's possible?
Yeah, in the same year.
Oh, same year. Right, okay. That's
Yeah.
not the same year, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong.
97. Yeah.
Okay.
According to this, yeah. But that same year he was in Jackie Brown, so and then Rush Hour. So what a strange, I don't know.
He's doing all right.
Yeah.
So budget of $90 million doesn't matter. Box office 347.3.
Yeah.
All right. It's one of the top 10 movies of 2001, and I have that list right here, Henry.
Okay.
Can you do it?
Well, I have my top 10 favorite movies of 2001.
Oh, boy. Wait, so what's number one? No, never mind. I was going to say 25th Hour, but that's 2002.
Right.
All right.
I don't think a single movie on my top 10. Maybe one movie here made the top 10.
Give me the list. Throw some
right.
out there. Just throw some out there.
The Royal Tenenbaums.
Is that number one?
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
Vanilla Sky.
Oh, great movie. Yeah.
In the Bedroom.
Oh, not on here. Sorry.
No shit.
Yeah.
The Pledge.
Directed by Jack Nicholson?
Sean Penn.
Right. Jack Nicholson's in it. Okay, what else?
The Gray Zone.
That's a horrible movie.
That's a great movie.
Jesus.
You are wrong.
Ugh.
The Piano Teacher.
Ooh, good one, yeah. Which is a foreign film. What, are you trying to impress the listeners?
Yeah.
Okay.
They might not know.
What's Michael Haneke? Yeah.
Is that the correct pronunciation?
Yes, Michael Haneke.
Haneke.
Yeah.
The score.
Oh man. Yeah, no, not on here.
Ghost World.
Oh, good one. That's probably on mine.
And Training Day.
Training Day.
I thought that might breach the top 10.
The TV show's still on the bubble for renewal. We'll see if it gets renewed. Of course.
That's not in the top 10, right?
No.
Okay. And then my number 10, this is when we did these lists together, so obviously I could see I was grasping for straws some years. 2001 must have been one of them, so because my number 10 movie of that year was From Hell.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, I like it, but I don't quite know how it made my top 10.
I'll tell you what, there's a movie on the top 10 box office movies that I think maybe deserve to be on a best of list.
What's that?
Number 8, Ocean's 11.
Oh, boy, you're right.
Yeah, that's better than From Hell.
I should correct that right now. Is that legal to correct that from a list we made 6 years ago?
No.
Okay.
No, I think we should do new lists sometime. Maybe we could do bonus episodes for the podcast.
Because these are actually funny just because of when they were done, so I don't want to screw that up.
Yeah, totally.
All
Okay,
right.
so can you name any of the top 10 highest grossing movies of 2001?
Yeah, I
All
know.
right, just get back there in your head. It's the summer of 2001. Big movies are coming out. We have no idea what's ahead of us.
All right. I got one.
Then
for sure.
then the fall hits. The towers are down. We're all in front of those TVs for weeks at a time, watching the coverage. George W. Bush, he's a cowboy. We think he's going to save us. Beat down the evildoers. All right.
God, that was like a form of hypnotism. You got me back in time.
You're back there now?
I'm there.
Okay.
I'm in college. Yeah.
The city smells like garbage. Yeah. All right, let's go.
All right. Obviously, Lord of the Rings.
Fellowship of the Ring. That is number 2.
All right, 2001. There was no Star Wars movie that year. I know that.
No.
Was that the year of Tim Burton's awful Planet of the Apes remake?
Oh, Henry, I'm very impressed with that one. Yes, that is number 10. It snuck in there. Yeah.
I wasn't even sure if that was 2001, but I figured, good.
Whoa. Hey, whoa. What's this? I thought this was going to be Abraham Lincoln, but it's not. It's a monkey. Hey.
Hey, gorilla. How's your mother?
Hey, Michael Clark Duncan, can I finger you on a Ferris wheel?
Are you gonna die soon? You're not dead yet, are you?
It's me, Paul Giamatti. I'm playing a monkey.
Oh, God. Oh, Burton.
We'll cover that movie.
Ooh, we will. That'll be a long one.
I got that for Christmas that year on DVD from a cousin. I remember that.
No, it's fine. You were a teenager.
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters.
I did too.
I remember that because I saw it after I played a softball game and I tore up my knee and had a cut going all the way up my leg and I had a bandage on it and I was with a group of like 10 people and all I was doing the whole movie was checking my leg to make sure I wasn't bleeding all over the place.
Maybe if you watch it again today with a healthy leg, you might really enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that was it. That's what killed it for me.
All right, that's all you got?
I'm having a tough time with 2001, man. I named you my 10. I got Planet of the Apes and Lord of the Rings. I need a little bit of help here.
All right, number 9. It's a big Steven Spielberg franchise, but Spielberg's no longer at the helm.
Okay. That wasn't the year of AI.
That's not a franchise, you piece of shit, and he is at the helm of that.
Correct and correct.
Yeah.
Not the piece of shit part, but the other two parts. I don't know.
It's Jurassic Park 3.
Oh, wow, that's funny. I thought those were done by then. I didn't remember them still coming out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 8, Ocean's 11, as I said. Number 7, Michael Bay showing his tender side.
Ooh.
Oh, baby. This historical classic. I saw it in theaters.
I don't know.
That's right. Pearl Harbor.
Oh, boy. I didn't see it in theaters. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Number 6, a sequel to a monster movie. And there's a new iteration coming out this summer.
This summer?
This coming summer.
Hmm.
How
Can you
about
give me
that?
a little more than that?
Tom Cruise is in the new one.
Oh, The Mummy.
But it's the sequel. That's right. The Mummy Returns.
With Brandon Fraser.
It's Brendan, not Brandon.
Who cares? Yeah. George of the Jungle's Brendan Fraser.
And Dudley Do-Right.
That's right.
Does that count as a franchise?
I hope not.
There was a straight-to DVD George of the Jungle sequel. I know that.
Okay.
We could always do that if we really want to.
We really wanted to.
I kind of want to. No, we should definitely do those mummy movies, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
All right, number 5 is Rush Hour 2.
Yeah.
That's right, it made the top 5.
Mm.
Number 4, a Pixar movie. One of those early ones.
One of an early Pixar movie.
A good one, though.
Was that, I don't know, Toy Story 2?
No, Monsters, Inc.
Oh, never saw it.
Yeah, saw that in theaters.
Okay.
Number 3. In fact, I think I saw everything in the top 10 in theaters.
Wow.
Yeah. Number 3, DreamWorks Animation, the first of a long franchise.
Shrek!
Get in my belly!
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 2, you got Lord of the Rings. And number 1, the first installment in a YA franchise with a bunch of British kids.
Harry Potter.
That's right, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, as it's known in America, because they thought we were too stupid for the actual title, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
They were right.
They were.
I like that. I love that.
Yeah, that's
That's
great.
just the Brits just unabashedly going, no, come on now, let's just change the title. Understand the sorcerer. They know what a sorcerer is. The president they have right now believes in sorcery. Sorcery. Philosopher, no. He does not believe in philosopher.
Yeah.
Philosophy. Sorcery, yes. Yes. All right.
That's your British guy?
That's like before they talk. Don't all British people do that?
Yeah.
Philosophy turn it to sorcerer. Sorcerer and a cup of tea.
Yeah. I like this character.
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
I also wrote down, just for context, just because I found this interesting. Like, all those franchises, I mean, Jurassic Park recently got rebooted, Mummy's about to get rebooted, but, like, a lot of these franchises have, like, died and been rebooted since. There was only one franchise on the list that, like, never went away and is still going and is still, like, minting money at the box office.
What's that?
And that was the number 14 movie of this year. The Fast and the Furious.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Never took a break.
Didn't crack the top 10 though. Interesting. Like that franchise really like didn't get that huge until like the 5th one.
The rubber didn't meet the road yet.
Oh God.
It took a while to gain traction.
Yep. All right, Rush Hour 2. What's the plot, Henry?
Oh God. So we take it up like days after the events of the first movie, and we end up in China.
Yep.
Because Chris Tucker's going to go on vacation with Jackie Chan so we can have a lot more racist remarks. And a bomb explodes, and they get involved in the case and are told to stay out, but of course they don't stay out, and it involves the triads. And what am I missing?
There's a sexy lady that they think is like a suspect at first, but she turns out to be a Secret Service agent.
Oh, right. That's Rosalind Sanchez.
That's right. Who was like gonna be a thing in Hollywood for like 1 second,
But didn't become one.
yeah. She was gonna be like a real Salma Hayek, I think.
Yeah, I looked her up thinking, like, oh, I wonder what she's done, because I didn't know her at all, and there was nothing to know.
Well, she's still working. She does TV. She was on that really racist show, Devious Maids, that's about like Latinas sniping at each other.
Oh, good.
Yeah, from the creator of Desperate Housewives. I like how all his shows have that like title construct.
Sure.
Desperate Housewives, Devious Maids. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my. Okay.
Next it's going to be like Anxious Paupers or something. I don't know.
Laundering Jewish housewives.
No, too many words.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, they could just leave out Jewish and they just say laundering housewives.
No, he's already done Housewives, man.
Laundering kibitz.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I'd like to watch that. Just get like a Dina Menzel.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The Nebbish jewelers.
Yeah. So I think what I have to talk about before the racism in this movie is the sexism.
Okay.
Now, Carter, Chris Tucker's character, he in the first movie hit on that one character a bunch.
Elizabeth Pena.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But other than that, he was like focused on the case.
Mm-hmm.
He was like a cop. In this movie, he just has a boner that won't go away. The entire movie, every girl that shows up, he hits on, including like women in the triads. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And it continues into the third one, too.
Big time. But like, I mean, it goes on and on. I wrote down so many. Like, he's there's that one scene in the club after he dances to "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough" karaoke style.
Oh.
Yeah. And he says he's trying to like separate the club to like find the person they're looking for.
Oh, yeah, right.
And he says, all the triads and the ugly women on this side, all the fine women on this side.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And he's like, there's the scene where they meet Rosalind Sanchez later, and they're back in L.A., so he's trying to say, like, leave me alone, let me head up the investigation. He goes, this is my city. I mean, come on, dude. You're that preoccupied with sex that you say titty instead of city?
Yeah, man. And then he goes to Vegas and just all bets are off.
Oh, my God. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's
you're
like,
right.
He's just
distracting.
He's constantly like turning around to see ladies' butts, and like it just doesn't stop for the entire movie.
Doesn't. His eyes are popping out of his head all the time, and
Don't stop till you get enough. This guy's never getting enough. He says, and he refers to it, because we're racist in this movie too, as getting some mushu.
Oh, yeah.
So they go to a massage parlor at one point, and he's presented with a buffet of Chinese women.
Don't get between a black man and his buffet.
Yep. Yeah, there's that line. There's a lot of like attempts to redo like classic lines from the first movie in different ways. Classic lines. So like, don't you ever touch a black man's radio at the beginning of the movie? He of course. So they're driving in this car, and Jackie Chan is playing Beach Boys, and Tucker has turned around on the Beach Boys. He's loving it. They're way into it. and they're having a real nice time, and I'm enjoying it. It's like the first scene of the movie, and then this car of Chinese women like stops next to them at a light, and he asks if they can fuck, and the Chinese women say no, and he blames this on Jackie Chan's Beach Boys, and he takes the CD out of the CD player and throws it out the window.
Yeah, man. Not cool.
Not cool. And Jackie Chan says, "Don't you ever touch a Chinese man's CD." That's not as good a line.
No.
No. By the way, you know who one of those Chinese women was in the car?
Was it Myling Melencon?
No. Franchise crossover, Henry. No lines of dialogue. Won't be famous for another 6 years, probably.
Oh wait, Maggie Q.
Maggie Q. The villain, one of the villains from Die Hard. What, Live Free or Die Hard?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Because this Myling Melencon is credited as Girl in Car, and she's relevant for something later.
What?
Well, the superhero count.
Oh, okay.
Nothing else.
I thought it was going to turn out she was like underage, like that girl in Friday the 13th Part 2.
Oh, jeez. Like some scandal or something?
Yeah, I mean, this is a Brett Ratner picture.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Did you read that bitch anecdote?
No.
So, Ji Zhang is in this film, who was another person Hollywood tried to make famous for a second.
Yeah.
She was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And also House of Flying Daggers.
How did you say her name?
Ziyi Zhang.
I believe it's Zhang Ziyi, but... You know.
I believe it was Zhang Ziyi until Hollywood realized that they were doing it wrong because the last name comes before the first name, and so she then started getting credited as Ziyi Zhang.
Wow.
So fuck you!
Oh, wow. So she didn't have the courage to tell them, like, you're spelling my name wrong.
No, her first bunch of movies, she's credited with the wrong, like, the name's reversed, and then they fixed it.
Was Jackie Chan's name Chan Jackie?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know if his real name is Jackie.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, he's just like a big fan of Jackie Joyner Kersey, and so he searched it.
Nice reference.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I want to slip in something about the couple of credits.
What, you're going to slip in the bass?
Well, Lalo Schifrin's back.
Yeah.
And can I just say the opening music to the credits here, I don't know if it reminded you of Dirty Harry.
Yeah, it did.
But my God, Lalo. I mean, he's not even... I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, he's not even trying.
He's back for the third one.
Yeah, he's just like, I have to come up with something for this rush hour, so I'll just take a sample of Dirty Harry. And he is massively slipping the bass. I mean, he is just slipping the bass, Hungarian style. And, yeah, it's all over it. But also, that was for Ryan Rebelkin.
Yeah.
And Matthew, new cinematographer here, Matthew Leonetti.
Oh, yeah. Who's this guy?
He's done a lot of shit, but he also shot 3 movies that, well, they look great, and half the reason the movies are good is because they look great. And, well, okay, not in the case of Poltergeist. He shot that.
The original?
That's something? Yeah.
Hey.
He shot one of my favorite movies of... You're going to love this so much. He shot the Mickey Rourke classic, Johnny Handsome.
Oh, is that a classic now?
Love it. Great movie.
Okay.
Mickey Rourke's heyday. And he shot the Catherine Bigelow movie, Strange Days.
Sure.
Which does look great. So he's got, again, Ratner pulling, like, some people with talent, I don't know what it is with this guy, but
yeah. And punching down their work with his directorial skills until it's unnoticeable.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Horrible.
So at this point, mid-plot, which I think is a good time, as good a time as any, I got a little game for you, Dan.
Oh, I'm ready. Let's play a game.
All right. Well, in Roger Ebert's review of the first Rush Hour, he coined one of his little terminologies called the Wunza,
Okay.
and it's WUNZA, and it's you basically can apply it to any movie. You can do it to buddy cop films or anything where one's a crazy thing and one's a thing.
Oh, that's a good one.
One's a cat. Yeah, one. So I have some movies here, one of which we've covered, but I'm gonna give you the movie, and you're gonna give the one's a tagline to it, whatever you think is fits.
Okay, I'm so excited. Let's do it.
All right. Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon. One's a crazy Nazi. One's a Danny Glover.
Bad Boys.
Okay. One's a Fresh Prince. One's a Martin. Alright.
I got more.
Hit me.
Shanghai Noon.
Shanghai Noon. Okay, yeah. One's an indie Texan. One's a martial arts master.
I was expecting some more offensive stuff.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's all right.
Well, give me.
Buddy.
Buddy. Okay.
I had to dig deep for that.
Sure, okay. Oh, God. What do you say? One was naked a lot in the Thomas Crown affair. One's Rene Russo. No, one's a monkey.
There was a naked monkey in the Thomas Crown
affair?
No. Couple more.
All right.
The Heat.
The Heat. Okay. Yeah, all right. God. One, I mean, come on, that's a real easy one. They're both cops, one's thin, one's fat. That's it.
We got to say it with the...
Oh, the voice? Well, I mean, all right.
Or their careers, whatever you want to
Sure.
say.
One's a lady Henry's jerked off to. One's Sandra Bullock. All right.
You have revealed my long-standing sexual crush on Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
All right, I got...
Of Gilmore Girls, you mean?
Oh, is that what she was on?
Yeah, that's how she got her start there.
Oh, God! Look at you. Slipping that bass in there. All right, I got two more, and they're good. They're real good.
Hit me.
I want top-notch Dan here.
All right.
Turner and Hooch.
Turner and Hooch. I mean...
You're promoting the film, you know? You're promoting
I'm promoting the film. Yeah, you're right. Man, I mean, that's not that easy, because you can't make fun of Tom Hanks.
Okay, you want me to do it?
Yeah.
One's an actor who used to do comedy until he won an Oscar for playing a guy who had AIDS. The other is a pooch.
Oh, that's good.
All right, you want to try K9?
Yeah. One's been living off his dead brother for decades. The other is a dog. Wait, I could go another way with this.
Sure.
Okay. One spends the entire movie slobbering everywhere. The other is a dog.
You nailed it, my friend.
All
Congratulations. Right. That game might come back.
Sometime.
All right. The one's a game.
I like it. I think I could do better.
You know, it's okay. It was your first attempt.
Yeah. I like it, though. It's good game.
Good, thank you.
You want to talk racism?
Sure.
Okay. What's your favorite racist line in the movie?
Oh, man. Well... I mean, the racist lines against Chinese people are just too numerous to even get into. They're a mile a minute. But I'll tell you the worst scene, racist wise.
Okay, is it when he goes on the racial tirade at the craps table
Bingo.
Yeah, he brings up Martin Luther King and shit.
And Saul Rubinek, the great character actor Saul Rubinek, just sits there like he just wished he hadn't taken that role.
It is true. The great character actor Saul Rubinek, like, he's supposed to be playing a character who's just exhausted by Chris Tucker in this scene, and
it's not hard.
Yeah, it looks like he's just he's going method on this one.
It looks like he's exhausted by Chris Tucker.
Yeah, he's nailing it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll call out some classics.
Sure.
During a fight scene, Chris Tucker punches Jackie Chan by mistake, and then says, "All y'all look alike."
Very original joke.
It's a good one.
It's good.
Then he's getting real mad because Jackie Chan wants to solve this case instead of going off and banging women every 5 seconds.
Right.
So Jackie Chan gets frustrated with him and says, "When's the last time you played Hide the Rainbow role? The Year of the Rat?"
Oh, man.
Yep.
Oof. You gotta think, too, I'm wondering, like, I'm picturing Jeff Nathanson, right? Sitting in his his bungalow.
Yep, with all his Speed 2 cash.
Yeah, with Speed 2 cash. His Coke, his vials of Coke, and just writing these lines.
He's doing some lines and then writing some lines.
That's right. And just thinking, here's gold, here's some more gold, and some more gold, and then presenting this.
But Henry, people loved it.
Yeah, and when you say people, you mean like the world.
Yeah, but I'll admit this. I saw this movie in theaters when I was 15.
You're excused.
And it didn't strike me as racist. I thought it was funny.
Mm.
Like, I didn't love this movie, but, like, I don't remember being mad at it. I think I thought it was an okay movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, I had never seen it before, so this was
new to you.
This was new to me.
All right. Did you like Jackie Chan getting in on the racism when he tells Chris Tucker that he's going to bitch slap him back to Africa?
I wrote that line down. That was the only line of dialogue I wrote down.
I wrote a bunch down.
I'm going to bitch slap you back to Africa.
Well, that was more racist than the line.
I'm just doing the way he sounds.
Oh, that's how he sounds?
Yeah, we do voices.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a title of one of his songs for a singing career.
Oh, I would love it.
Bitch slap you back to Africa.
Bitch is a word that's thrown around a little too willy-nilly in this movie.
Mm.
And that comes from Brett Ratner. I'm not sure if you read this great...
Oh, yeah, you were starting to say that, and then we got off on a zang, zang thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah, right. So, Chris Tucker has to fight Ziyi Zhang at the end of the movie. And there's this moment where he calls her a bitch. Like, after he knocks her down. Like, he says, "Why'd you have to be such a bitch?" or something.
Yeah.
And I read this anecdote that scene wasn't working. Okay? All the other scenes in the movie, they were working.
They were
nailing him. But this scene, it wasn't working for some reason. And so Brett Ratner came up with the idea, oh, well, I've got the fix. I've got the fix for this scene.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, come over here. Just call her a bitch. And Chris Tucker, to his eternal credit, refused to do it. And spent the next hour telling Brett Ratner, I'm not going to say that. I don't want to call her a bitch. It's not good. And Brett Ratner insisted upon it and forced him to do it for one take, and that's the take that ended up in the movie.
Wow. That is interesting.
Yeah, so Brett Ratner, in his life, has spent multiple hours convincing Chris Tucker to call a woman a bitch.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He's a piece of shit.
Oh, man. Oh, boy. Brett.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the emotional subplot of the movie? That Ricky Tan...
That I found out Alan King was still alive?
I know. I had the same revelation. Well, he's not anymore.
Not now.
Yeah. But
Alan King in the Tom Wilkinson role, as then Max von Sydow is in the Tom Wilkinson role.
the rich old white man.
My God. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But Ricky Tan is our main villain in this. And he turns out to have been Jackie Chan's dad's partner.
Right.
So that's the emotional subplot. And Ricky Tan looks to be about 10 years younger than Jackie Chan. My question is, shouldn't this character be like 75 years old? Like, Jackie Chan is like 50, and he was like Jackie Chan's partner, like Jackie Chan's dad's partner.
Right. Which also brings up the point where if his dad died in the line of duty, his dad must have been an active cop when he was like 70.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Ricky Tan, played by John Lone, of one of my favorite movies, another Mickey Rourke movie from the early 80s called Year of the Dragon.
Oh, sure. Isn't
Which
Michael Cimino?
Yeah. And despite its title, is much less racist than this movie.
Sure.
Yeah, no, it choked me up.
Rush Hour 2 could have been called Year of the Dragon, and then dragon would just be like a penis metaphor.
Could have been called any number of the Chinese calendar animals.
Yeah, that's right.
Year of rat.
Year of the cock. I think that's one.
Yeah. It is, and that's probably what it should have been.
Yeah. Rush Hour 2, Year of the Cock. I love it.
One's a sex-crazed black man. The other's a 75-year-old martial arts expert. Year of the Cock.
He's even a little sex-crazed in this one for a while. Like, at first he's focused on the case, but then they're, like, spying on Rosalind Sanchez across the street. And Jackie Chan, like, won't give Chris Tucker the binoculars because she's like, she's getting naked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
They're spying on this lady. It's real weird. And then, I gotta tell you, at the end of the movie, Rosalind Sanchez kisses Jackie Chan instead of Chris Tucker. That's kind of a nice
I agreed.
twist.
I
That's
agreed. Good, finally. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
I'm glad someone is seeing Jackie Chan as a sexual being in these movies rather than just like a really adorable martial arts master.
Can I say, one of the funny things I read Ebert's review of his 1.5-star review of this,
Oh, okay.
where he calls Chris Tucker, his endless rants are like an anchor around the ankles of humor.
It's a good line.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ebert.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
Love him.
Love that man. All right.
Yeah.
How about you have any feeling on either of the big cameos in this movie?
I gotta remember what they were.
Well, first, Don Cheadle shows up.
Oh, yeah, of course. I wanted to get to him.
Yeah. Just way too classy for this movie immediately.
I know. I felt the same way. And honestly, folks, listeners, people, this was really before Don Cheadle. He'd done some stuff for sure. He was in Traffic and, I think a couple, Out of Sight. But
Ocean's 11 the same year.
Same year, but I don't even think that had come out yet. And he's not super famous at this point, but, to go to what Danny usually says when somebody, like, kind of pops, like, he's just in this scene out-acting everybody. And it's just a one-scene thing, and it's not, like, that big a deal, but he's great.
Yeah. there's a moment.
It's bizarre.
There's a moment in the bloopies with him, Henry,
Yeah, I watched him.
and they're shooting that scene, and Chris Tucker keeps accidentally calling Jackie Chan instead of his character name.
Right.
And Don Cheadle says, "Motherfucker, his name is Lee," or something like that. And like, it's so telling. Like,
Yeah,
he's there just for a 1-day part,
Right.
and he's more into the movie than either of them.
Yeah, it's true.
And
Yeah,
he's
he
psyched to do it. I read that he only agreed to be in it if he gets to fight Jackie Chan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which he does for like a second.
Yeah. They let him do it.
Yeah.
But he's so good.
I
He's
agree.
I almost want to give him MVP just for being in one scene.
He is my MVP.
He's not mine.
He's mine.
Okay.
It was easy.
And the other less good cameo in probably my least favorite scene of the movie, Henry.
Ooh. Here it
Jeremy Piven.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So they're in a sewer in Las Vegas, and they need to get some nice clothes to go into this casino
Yeah.
to look for Ricky Tan.
Hmm.
And so they go into, I believe it's a Versace store.
I didn't know
I
this.
could be wrong about that. And Jeremy Piven is in there wearing like a sweater with a sweater wrapped around his neck, and he's just a gay stereotype,
Right,
and he
right.
keeps calling Chris Tucker cute, and Chris Tucker gets grossed out because gay people are gross,
Right.
and it's just disgusting.
Yeah.
Because all I'm picturing is the behind the scenes of this with
Right. I know.
like Brett Ratner watching this and losing his mind laughing, going like,
That's
keep
right.
keep rolling. Oh, Piven's on a roll. Like,
Definitely.
it's ridiculous.
Definitely. That's what I was thinking too.
And I mean, Jeremy Piven.
Both Entourage people.
Both, yeah, Brett Ratner and Jeremy Piven, both Entourage alum.
Yeah.
Entourage played Ari.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and that rug he's wearing. Does no one remember that Jeremy Piven was bald in the 90s?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God. There was a time I liked Jeremy Piven.
He could be funny. I think he was one of the only funny parts of Grosse Point Blank, if I recall.
He was great in the Larry Sanders Show.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was pretty good on what sitcom was he on in the 90s? Ellen?
Oh, I don't remember.
I think so.
Was he in Very Bad Things?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then after, I mean, I don't know when it happened. Entourage must have been premiering after this. I think this is pre-Entourage.
Yeah.
But somewhere in the early 2000s, this is just what Jeremy Piven was doing.
Yeah.
He's just a douchebag piece of shit in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that Hollywood tried to make him a movie star and failed. What's he doing these days? What's the last thing you saw Jeremy Piven in?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna look him up. It's
mean,
been a yeah.
He was in
I
the
mean,
Entourage movie.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember
Yeah.
that happened?
Oh, I remember it. I mean, Entourage is one of those shows I successfully avoided watching. Any episode of it. You've seen it, right?
I've seen a couple in the first 2 seasons. But, yeah. Sean Spicer was really excited about the Entourage movie.
Is that a joke?
No, someone found a tweet, like an old Sean Spicer tweet. Like saying, Entourage movie this summer. I'm so excited.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
When he was in the Naval Reserves. Sitting around watching the Entourage films.
Yeah.
Well, now he's living the dream, so you know. I'm having trouble loading a page.
All right,
so
whatever.
I can't,
All right, so, they solve the case, and then they go dancing off. All the movies end with them dancing,
Yeah.
and then bloopies.
Which
Oh, they go to New York, right? Isn't this the one where at the end of the movie,
at the end, yeah,
like Chris Tucker's like, "What have you always wanted to do?" And Jackie Chan's like, "Go to Madison Square Garden."
That's a good Jackie Chan impression.
Thank you. And so they go, and that's it. They're headed off to New York, and I thought that they were setting up Rush Hour 3 for a New York adventure, but apparently a lot happens between Rush Hour 2 and 3.
It does seem that way. Are we getting into Rush Hour 3 then?
Might as well, but what do you give Rush Hour 2?
2 stars.
Yeah, me too. I'm not gonna go 1. There were a couple good moments. I laughed.
Well, honestly,
I laughed out loud once.
Really?
Yep.
When was that?
I'll tell you with my MVP,
Okay.
Jackie Chan.
Okay.
Because he's still doing some cute flippy doos and stuff,
Yeah,
but he's
yeah.
the one to make me laugh once, and it's the scene where there's a section of this movie where Jackie Chan thinks Chris Tucker is dead.
Oh, right.
And so there's a scene with Jackie Chan in his car listening to Puff Daddy's "I'll Be Missing You."
Oh. Okay.
And like dancing along to, like really getting emotional to it.
Yeah.
And that scene made me laugh.
Really?
So, yeah, so I'm giving MVP to Jackie Chan for
Kind
that.
of made me cringe, but
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I thought the in the outtakes the cell phone call was funny.
Oh, that was pretty good. Yeah, Chris Tucker, like, he forgot to turn his phone off. His, like, actual phone, and it rings during a scene, and Jackie Chan gets on there to talk.
Yeah, he's like, I'm filming a scene with Jackie Chan. Call me back later. He wants to talk to you. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's 2 stars. MVP for me is Don Cheadle by a mile. And LVP is just no contest for me on this. It's Chris Tucker.
That's Ratner.
Well, I gave him the LVP in the first one.
I'm going to give him the LVP for all 3.
That's fine. Spoiler alert, he's my LVP for 3. But,
Okay.
But
Plus,
for this
he was
one,
an asshole to you last week.
he was a prick to me last week. Well, he's getting it again in 3, so yeah, that's very true. He was an asshole. But Tucker is just intolerable. I couldn't. He's just awful. You know, I couldn't take him. I do have a superhero count I want to whiz through here, zip through because it's fucking 6.
Oh God! All right,
I know.
go ahead.
All right. You know Harris Yulin.
Harris Yulin, great character actor.
Yes.
Played the head of the Watchers Council on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Of course, that's
And no, he was also the mean judge in Ghostbusters 2.
there you go.
Yeah.
He's a bunch of stuff. He's really cool. He of course was in the TV show of Linda Carter's Wonder Woman.
Oh, good for him.
That girl I mentioned, I believe it's the other girl in the car, along with Maggie Q. They're both superhero counts. Maggie Q, of course, played Wonder Woman on Young Justice.
Really interesting casting.
Yeah. And this Mei-Ling Melon Khan played Psylocke in X-Men 3.
Oh, so Ratner used her again.
Yep. And then currently in DC's Legends of Tomorrow, she plays a character named Masako Yahashiro.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
Okay.
she's pretty good in that episode.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So that's 3 down. Of course, we got Don Cheadle in as War Machine.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's one of the triad henchmen played by an actor named Ernie Reyes Jr.
And listen, I'm very familiar with Ernie Reyes Jr.
I figured you might be.
Yeah, he is, of course, the pizza boy who befriends the turtles in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. Kino, that's right.
And in the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think he was behind the costume as Donatello.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's great trivia.
Yep.
You gotta cover those movies.
Oh, yeah. And he was in Red Sonja.
Wow, holy shit, what a career Ernie Reyes Jr. has had. You can also see him in the classic 90s comedy Surf Ninjas. All right.
Wow.
I watched that movie. That's one of those movies that you see in theaters as a kid, and you end up watching it like 9 times, not knowing that like it's a totally meaningless movie that no one but you gives a shit about. Yeah.
And then last but not least, our resident piece of shit, Jeremy Piven. Yeah.
Where'd he pop up?
2 cartoons, one in a Spider-Man cartoon as Roland Gaines, character I'm unfamiliar with.
Me too.
And in Justice League Unlimited, he played the Elongated Man. Isn't that Plastic Man?
No, they're 2 different characters, but similar. They have the same power. The Elongated Man, that's so funny, man. Like, I bet Jeremy Piven was having a ball with the improv on that character.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a superhero count. That's Rush Hour 2, folks. 2 stars. We're in agreement.
Yeah. Now for a 1 star. All right, Rush. Who gives a shit? It's Rush Hour 3. Directed by Brett Ratner, written again by Jeff Nathanson. The whole team is back 6 fucking years later. Released August 10th, 2007. And they didn't learn their lesson tripling the budget of Rush Hour for Rush Hour 2. So now we have a budget of $140 million.
Yeah, sure.
For a buddy cop comedy.
Yeah.
All right. Box office of 258. That sounds like a lot, right? Not when your budget's 140.
Nope. They didn't even... that's, if my math is correct, that's not even doubling the budget.
Nope. No, so they probably lost money on this.
Yeah, for sure.
With marketing and shit.
Rightfully so.
No, the number 16 film of 2007, though. I wrote down...
Best years of movies.
I put down a sandwich. Yeah, it is, yeah. I put down a little sandwich here. So I have number 17 and 18, and number 15, 14, and 13.
Ooh.
All right. All right, so Rush Hour 3 did slightly better than number 17, Live Free or Die Hard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And number 18, Fantastic Four 2, Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Oof. And did slightly worse than number 15, surprise breakout hit, Juno.
Okay. I didn't know that did that well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Number 14, Judd Apatow's Knocked Up.
I was just going to say I have my top 10 from that year, and that is on it, and I would have gotten it.
That's on mine, too, I remember.
That's the only movie on my top 10 that would have breached the top 15 for sure.
Yeah. And number 13, I put down just for fun, because I'd forgotten how big a hit this was, and it's amazing that it made more money than Knocked Up.
Superbad?
No, Wild Hogs!
Oh my God.
Remember that old men driving motorcycles movie?
That's the Travolta Robin Williams thing, right?
No, that's old dogs shit in your mouth. But Wild Hogs had... It was like Tim Allen, William H. Macy, Martin Lawrence, and someone else.
Was that Old Dog?
Might have been Travolta.
Was that a Tim and Eric reference?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was a thing.
Yeah.
That's
old
great.
dogs shit in your mouth. Okay.
Tim and Eric.
Yeah. The great Tim and Eric. I spent the weekend watching season 2 of Master of None on Netflix, which is, I think an all-time classic season of a TV show.
I've still never seen it.
Oh, well, you should watch season 1, but this season 2 blew me away. And they really upped Eric Wareheim's role in it.
Oh, okay.
And I enjoyed him immensely. Eric from Tim and Eric. All right, so we're opening... Oh, actually, let's mention just real quick
Yeah.
the Wikipedia entry for Rush Hour 3.
Oh, you want to mention that now?
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, who do we come across in this entry?
Well, when you're looking at the critical response, we're getting Daily Mail, we're getting Washington Post, and then it says Christian Toto of the Washington Times said, quote, "The Rush job should put the franchise down for good."
All
End quote.
right. So we've got our old friend Christian Toto of the Austin Powers episode and
Right.
HollywoodandToto.com and the Hollywood and Toto podcast. He has his name all over this Rush Hour 3 Wikipedia page.
Yeah, man.
And, okay, the quote was, "The Rush job should put the franchise down for good." Now, on the one hand, I've got to take points away, Toto. The Rush job? What are you, Gene Shalit over there?
Oh.
Come on.
He's going to take umbrage with that comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you got to give him some props because he was right.
He called it.
It did put the franchise down for good.
He called it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I forgot he wrote for the Washington Times, the Republican version of the Post.
Is that what?
Well, that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's cool though. That was cool. So shout out to you, Chris.
All right.
Totally unexpected coming across that.
You can tweet at him at Hollywood and Toto and give him shit about that stupid pun.
I'm sure he'll tweet you.
No. I love Toto.
Yeah, of
All right.
course.
All right. Hey. So we open the movie.
Yeah, your turn for the plot.
All right. It's like they want to bring you right back into this universe. Chris Tucker, he's working as a traffic cop. And I'm like, what is this, Lethal Weapon 3? What's going on?
Yep.
And he's directing traffic, listening to the great Prince song, "Do Me Baby," and dancing. He just won't stop dancing.
Can't stop him.
No. And he fucks up, and there's a big car wreck because he can't even direct traffic. And it's at this point, he's directing traffic, and I'm like, remember the end of the first Rush Hour movie? When, like, the FBI offered him a job, and it was this big triumphant moment, like, no, I'm LAPD.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you should have taken that FBI job.
Yeah, he should have.
Well, you're directing traffic here.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So, while this crash is going on, he finds these two women in a car.
Ugh.
And so his boner directs him to them. You know, like those things that attract lightning.
Right.
What
Right.
are those
Those
called?
things. Yeah.
And one of them is slightly heftier than the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jackie Chan is going to meet up with him later that day for like the first time. I take it in a few months. I feel like they see each other a couple times a year.
Yeah. Right. It does seem like that. Sure.
Yeah. And so he gets on the phone, tells Jackie they're going to be meeting these ladies
For some mushu.
for some mushu, because that was so funny in the first one.
Yeah.
And he says, "The fat one's yours."
Yeah.
All right in front of her. And then big car chase ends with this guy they're chasing getting away. The guy turns out to be, we need an emotional subplot, so he's Jackie Chan's long-lost brother.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
They hate each other, though.
Right. Kenji.
Kenji.
Played by a pretty good actor, actually. Hiroyuki Sanada.
Who's he?
Well, I like him in two of my favorite movies that are not two of yours, but but immediately I thought of him, and he's one of the only, well, the only good part of this movie. I thought he actually kind of a good villain. He's in The Last Samurai,
Okay.
and he's in Sunshine.
Oh, so he only works with classy directors like
Right.
Brett Ratner. No. Ed
Danny
Zwick
Boyle,
and Danny
Edward
Boyle.
Zwick. Yeah. Right.
Sure. Last Samurai, one of the all-time great racist movies of our time.
The Dancing with Wolves in Japan.
Yeah. Exactly.
Can I mention? I was gonna save this point till later, but it fits in right now.
Okay.
I have a little list here. Would you say that Carter and Lee, of the cops we have covered throughout our 49 episodes, are the two most incompetent cops, period? Because I have a little list here of the other cops we've covered. Would you like to hear them?
Well, certainly they're more incompetent than John McClane.
Correct.
Certainly they're more incompetent than Riggs and Murtaugh.
Correct.
Who else you got on that list?
I got Nick Curran from Basic Instinct.
No, he's more incompetent.
Because the killer's right before his eyes.
I mean, just the entire movie. Like, he's just as bad. His boner is hurting his genes just as bad as Chris Tucker's is.
Okay.
There's a few moments.
But I don't know if he's incompetent.
Listen, no, but he's less incompetent than these two because, and it's not. It's a fault of the Rush Hour movies because the writing is so bad that sometimes Tucker and Lee have like leaps of logic that turn out to be correct.
Right.
Like in the second one when Chris Tucker says, "Let's go to L.A." and Jackie Chan's like, "Why would we do that?"
Right.
And Jackie Chan's like, "You follow the rich white man."
You mean
like,
Chris Tucker says that? Yeah.
Yeah, and like, you know, like how, they were on a giant yacht. How many rich white men could there have been? But Chris Tucker saw this one looking calm after a shooting, so he's like, that guy must be involved.
Right.
So like, I mean, that's ultra competency, but only because the writing is so bad.
That's right. So they're still more incompetent than Nick Curran. They're more incompetent than FBI agent Gerard from The Fugitive.
Oh, yeah, well, definitely, yeah.
Obviously. They're more incompetent than Dirty Harry, and he has his moments.
He sure does, but they're definitely more incompetent than Dirty
And they're way more incompetent than Mulder and Scully.
Oh, well, they're the best.
So there you go. So they are the most incompetent cops that we have covered.
Who's more incompetent, Lee or Carter?
Carter.
You think
Now,
so?
I do. Lee's biggest problem is that he refuses to ever shoot anyone, which is very noticeable in this movie because, like, he's apprehended the guy like I don't know 10 times, and each time they get away because he just refuses to even like aim for the foot.
Yeah,
he just will not fire a gun. You know,
it's PG-13.
Right. There's plenty of gunfire in these movies.
Yeah, but no one ever gets shot. Like, even once, do they?
Well, they get shot. Oh, just the women, of course. In two different movies, remember, they each get grazed in the shoulder. I think Elizabeth Pena gets shot. Rosalind Sanchez gets shot. And in this one, that Genevieve gets shot.
Oh, yeah, Genevieve.
So
Let's talk
fine
about
to
her.
shoot women. We can shoot women.
Yeah.
Which ties in neatly to Brett Ratner's philosophy of life. But
So, the premise of Rush Hour 3, there's, I mean, for fuck's sake, it's, let me gather my thoughts.
go for it.
All right. So, our old friend, the Chinese consul, is back from the first one. And he gets assassinated immediately.
Or attempted.
He lives?
He definitely lives.
Okay.
Yeah, he gets like shot in the shoulder, which, by the way, another not even the assassins are competent.
Yeah.
Can't even kill the guy with a sniper rifle.
Yeah,
he
when
lives.
no one
They don't wanna even
suspects
say he's
anything.
Right.
So we get, his daughter Soo Young, who we saw as a child in the first one, gets kidnapped. Of course, Chris Tucker's boner can't even stay away from her, even though he's known her since she's a child.
Sure.
And we get a new actress for Soo Young.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. I liked the kid in the first one, but maybe she grew up fat or something. Like, Brett Ratner wouldn't like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But the thing that annoys me the most is that Soo Young is a fun little kid character in the first one because she's very Americanized and she's like into Mariah Carey. She's singing that in the back.
That's right.
Yeah. And in this movie, she's just like, she works in a dojo, and
Of course she does.
yeah, I think she speaks worse English in this movie than she does as a kid.
Yeah, she grew up and developed a Chinese accent.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Usually it's the other way around, but yeah.
Speaking of Mariah Carey, Nathaniel had a correction for you, buddy.
What's that?
You said Heartbreaker. That music video, is that the one on the boat?
Well, I asked.
Yeah, and I thought it was, but Nathaniel corrects us. That one was Honey.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you there, and dog.
Yeah, thanks to Nathaniel. Listen to the Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions episode for more from
Oh
him.
yeah, definitely.
So she gets kidnapped, and this leads them somehow to France. Because
Yeah,
I guess we need a new city for them to be ugly Americans and Chinese guy in.
you got that right. Ugly Americans is right.
And so they go and they get mixed up with this girl, Genevieve, who's also, even though we're now in Paris, France, we're still dealing with the triads.
Right. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
And we also got, before that happened, we got to get in yet another racist thing against Arabs.
Oh, that was amazing! That came out. I was actually really impressed because the first two movies are so racist, particularly the second one, that I was like, "Oh, Arabs, interesting." It was like because the first two movies are pre 9/11.
Right.
Now we get to rip on them.
Sure.
And Philip Baker Hall gets to come back for this one scene.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not in it enough.
No. He's great, though. He might be my MVP, honestly. But he's asking, what is it? What's the context of the scene?
I don't know. He says that Chris Tucker, shot at or blew up, 6 Arab guys because he thought they were terrorists, and Philip Baker Hall says they were
scientists.
right.
And
how was I supposed to know?
And Chris Tucker says, because they cure cancer in rags, that means they won't blow shit up.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. That is impressive.
That is. That's just planting your feet right out there and just saying, fuck it. I'm just making this racist line. Jeff Nathanson.
I guess that these were the years, though, right? Those were the days post 9/11, pre Barack Obama.
That's right.
You can say anything you want.
Yep. Fair game.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good movie.
You talking about the Naomi Watts movie?
No, I'm not talking about the Naomi Watts movie.
You're talking about the Cindy Crawford movie.
Oh, baby. Fair game.
William Baldwin.
Yep. I had a Blockbuster calendar. This is a true story. In the 90s, I had a Blockbuster calendar. And each month was a different movie that they were promoting. And it was ridiculous because it's a 12-month calendar, but they only have the movie posters from movies that were coming out in the first 3 months of the year.
Oh, sure.
And I remember one of the summer months, I believe, was Fair Game. And so for an entire month on my wall, I just had William Baldwin sniffing the old cleavage of Cindy Crawford.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a movie star.
Big time. She's admitted, I've read interviews with Cindy Crawford, though, where she was like, I didn't want to act. I was famous. They threw me in a movie. And I have sympathy for that.
Yeah, I like that. I believe that.
So they get to Paris, and Chris Tucker immediately holds a man at gunpoint for talking shit about America.
Right.
Yeah. The cab driver.
Yeah,
who
George.
becomes a real character in this movie. A real character.
A real character.
Yeah. And he's saying bad things about America, but the breaking point for Carter is when he says he doesn't find Halle Berry attractive.
Right.
And that is too much for Carter to take. Pulls out a gun and presses it to this poor cab driver's neck.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it was a good scene. Well written. It was subtle.
Yeah. Yeah. That actor, an Israeli fellow, by the way, playing French.
Of course.
Yeah. I've never seen him in anything else. He's pretty good. Maybe he's my MVP.
Yeah, he is good. He's
He's
kind of,
charming a couple times.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Searching for that MVP.
Yeah, when he shows up at the end of the movie wearing that hat, he's like wearing a Lakers hat or something.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Then Lee has to fight this lady. He fights Katana from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Is this the one with, or was that Rush Hour 2 with the woman with the Chinese fan that has daggers on it?
That's Katana from Mortal Kombat. That's her weapon of choice in Mortal Kombat.
I was surprised. Okay, I'm surprised you didn't mention the big, tall basketball player.
Well, there's a giant in this movie. We can talk about it. It's the only thing I remembered about this movie.
You saw this in theaters, right?
I did. Okay, so
I need that explanation.
I'll tell you. I had something to do in the city, like hours before I had to. I was working a closing shift at Barnes & Noble.
Uh-huh.
And I had something to do in the city that morning, so I had some time to kill. So I went to go see Rush Hour 3 at the 19th Street AMC over there by Union Square.
Sure.
And it was an afternoon, weekend, I think. Might have been a Sunday. And it was just me and a giant family. Okay? So I'm sitting by myself,
Okay.
and then there's like 12 people from a family. I distinctly remember the mother, or possibly the aunt, reminding me of Jackée Harry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
they're a black family.
Black family. Yeah.
Okay.
And they're all there, bunch of kids, no male adults, but there were like 3 or 4 female adults.
Okay.
And they're all watching Rush Hour 3. And since there's no one in the theater but me, they felt comfortable, like not even attempting to hide their talking.
Sure.
So, but they're really funny.
Like legit funny?
Like legit funny. And
Yeah.
so I was so thankful for them because this movie got so bad so quickly. Like the second he's dancing to Do Me Baby in the middle of the street, I'm like already out. And so, but this family, they're being really funny and they're loving the movie.
Sure.
So I was into it. Like I remember having a good theater going experience with Rush Hour 3 because I basically paid attention to them.
You watched them watching Rush Hour 3.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a good time doing that.
Yeah.
So thank you for that family, wherever you are. But I mean, years later, going back to this, it's 10 years later.
Yeah, it is. Wow.
And the only thing I remembered about this movie, literally the only thing, was that there's a giant in it. So when that, and frankly, I because it was the only thing I remembered, I thought he was like the main villain in the movie.
Sure.
But he's just in like one scene early on.
Right.
Yeah, they fight him, and you know what's a real problem with this movie? Jackie Chan can't do the stunts anymore.
No.
So he's not even really trying. Yeah. And it's a bummer because then you don't even have that. In the first two, like even when the movie is getting really awful, like Jackie Chan does something cool, and you're like, "Whoa, hey!"
Yeah, right.
Hey, he just jumped through a tiny mail slot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Which you can, and then you can no longer say what I said last week with my canned joke.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
Does he do his own stunts? And the answer, no.
He does some of them.
Yeah, I mean, definitely does some of them, but but you can see that somebody in a very bad black wig who's taller doing a lot of the other ones.
You know what the best part of the giant fight is?
What?
That classic Abbott and Costello moment.
Oh God!
Where there's one guy working at the dojo named You, but another guy working at the dojo named Me. Get it? Asian names.
I just leaned my head back as though we're on television and someone can see me, but I don't care. My head is currently back.
It goes on for what feels like minutes. Doing a Who's on First bit with these You and Me characters.
Oh. Kind of like the Austin Powers Fook Me and Fook You, right?
It's exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
If anyone was going to like that bit, it's Brett Ratner.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
A good point. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that is just painful with the blind Chinese man. And oh.
Yep.
So is that the basketball star or not?
No, it's not.
I didn't think it was.
Who's that guy?
What, Yao Ming?
Yao Ming, right? No, it's not that guy. This guy's bigger than Yao Ming.
Okay.
This guy, I mean, I don't know. He must be dead today. He's one of those. He's one of those people that looks like uncomfortably tall.
Right. Well, he's a pituitary case of some sort.
Yeah.
He's probably not with us any longer.
He looks like Vincent D'Onofrio in Men in Black. Like he's just trying to get out of his skin.
Oh, man. Good call. Men in Black. That'll be coming up sometime.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Feel sorry for guys like that. Jeez.
Yeah, me too. It's a bummer. All right. So, can we talk about Genevieve?
Sure.
She's a big character in this movie. She's a very sexy model with a roadshow, I guess, burlesque show.
Yeah, they're like in the Folie Bergère there. It's like Moulin Rouge style stuff happening.
Yeah, and Carter falls in love with her immediately.
Yeah.
And she's into it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like what I said in the first movie. Like, I think it's cool that, what's her name?
Sanchez.
No, the actress that died.
Oh, Elizabeth Pena.
Yeah, I think it's cool that Elizabeth Pena just doesn't take his shit and he just flirts with her to no avail.
Right.
Like, in this movie, it's a bummer because, like, Genevieve immediately is like, how can I repay you? How about with my pussy?
In those words.
Yeah. And then and then after kissing her, she reveals that she's been wearing a wig.
Yeah.
And she has the triad, like, map on her scalp, like, tattooed. And Carter loses his mind. He says, "It's the crying games. I'm Brokeback Carter."
Yep.
Like, it's just a wig, dude. She's still a woman.
Pretty obvious it's still a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So got in the two gay jokes.
Yeah. Well, there's more than those, because there is that scene where Chris Tucker pretends to be a gay French costume designer named Bubbles.
Oh, yeah, right.
So that all the women will undress in front of him.
Right. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ugh, God. It's funny, too, because, like, when he does, like, score with her, all he does is fucking never shuts up anyway during that, like, quote-unquote love scene.
Yeah, I think that Carter is a virgin. That's my working theory.
Certainly looks like it.
It explains why he's so obsessed with women, and it explains how uncomfortable he looks in that scene with Genevieve. Because, like, she's, like, kissing his neck, and he's like, yeah, kiss the ear. And then, like, she gets up, she's like, I'm going to make myself more comfortable or something. And Chris Tucker calls down to room service, like, let me get some cookies. I don't remember.
Yeah. He just needs some Xanax or something. I don't know. Just be quiet, dude. Yeah. Just calm down.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever had sex.
you got it. You're there. It's like he's still talking about it.
He's so insufferable.
He really is. That's the word I was looking for in the Rush Hour 2. Not intolerable. Of course, he's that too. But insufferable is the word. Thank you.
And he looks bad too. He's a little puffy. He's getting,
interesting.
In Rush Hour 3, he's got
I really noticed.
really bad facial hair. And he hasn't acted in anything in 6 years.
Right.
So
Well, he's probably right.
He's not hot. Like he's got a couple lines in like the first movie where like, you know, it's like, oh my god, he's on fire. Like, you know, like, say what you will, like, it's stupid and bad, but like he's going for it. Like in this movie, the lines are so lazy and shitty. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
This was a rough one to watch.
This was really rough, man. This was just fucking tedious.
I had to take a nap halfway through this movie.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I did this one in 2 parts as well. I had to go out for a while, so I turned it off and marked exactly where I left off because I didn't want to have to guess and go through.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I left off at the part where they're in the sewer and he reveals he's the brother. I think he was like, "Oh, he's your brother," and I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, let me take a nap."
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, it's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I actually wrote with an asterisk. I don't know why I wrote it because I didn't really need to remember, but I wrote fucking Garbaggio.
You were probably just bored.
Yeah,
probably. I write unnecessary plot things sometimes when I'm bored. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I do
just to help me follow the movie, like to make sure I'm paying attention.
That was a plot point for me. Fucking Garbaggio.
Yeah.
You know what I should have done? I should have marked down when I wrote it. I'll do that next time.
Okay.
Like minute 41. Like when did I? Because I'm sure I decided, very much earlier than I wrote that down. But yeah. Well.
1 star.
1 star for me too. We were in agreement on all 3 of these movies with our ratings.
Yeah.
My LVP is Ratner.
My LVP is also Ratner. Though Tucker comes close.
Damn darn tootin'. My MVP, I had originally written none, and then I crossed that out, and I did put down my guy Hiroyuki Sanada. Why not?
I'm going to put down Philip Baker Hall. Honestly, like, it was just sort of because I do have some fond memories of the first one.
Yeah.
One of
we didn't even... Sorry, go ahead.
What?
No, we didn't even mention Max von
Sydow. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Multiple Academy Award nominee Max von Sydow's in this movie, just given nothing to do.
Oof.
He's terrible. He's totally... It doesn't need to be Max von Sydow. It could be any old guy.
Old lady. Old lady.
Brett Ratner could have put his father in that role. It would have been fine.
It should have been the nun. How about that scene?
Oh, yeah. Who's that actress? Like, she's like...
I don't know, but she's pretty famous. Yeah. Character actress. Ugh.
Oh, yeah, right. They're having her, like, translate, like... They have, like, a villain, like, one of the triads tied up, and Chris Tucker's like... Tell him this. Tell him his mother's a fucking whore. But then Jackie Chan's like, don't swear in front of... And so he's like, his mother's an effing H. Yeah, he doesn't know how to spell whore.
No, because then Jackie Chan says, whore is spelled with a W.
Is that what he sounds like? Man, you're getting more and more racist as the episode goes.
I'm just doing an accent!
Oh, God.
An accent.
Ooh, okay.
Hey, you called Jackie Chan Japanese last week.
I know, that was bad. I got some shit from that about that on Twitter.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I will say my MVP is Philip Baker Hall just because it was nice to see characters from the first movie. I could easily give it to Si-Ma, who comes back as the Chinese consul guy. Like, it was just nice, like, having that connection to the first movie.
Yeah. Having that anchor around your ankles as opposed to Chris Tucker's humor around your ankles.
We see Rosalind Sanchez in a photograph.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
Jackie Chan gives Chris Tucker shit because he says that Rosalind Isabella, the hot Secret Service agent from the second movie, broke up with him after Carter accidentally shot her in the neck.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's good.
So Chris Tucker screwed that relationship up for Jackie Chan.
He screws everything up.
But also, why is she breaking up with Jackie Chan? Like, was it an ultimatum? Like, it's me or Carter?
Right.
And
right.
Lee was like, I gotta hang out with my best friend Carter 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like your Jackie Chan impression.
It's a
'cause now
little more low key.
It's getting less and less Chinese.
Yeah. I know.
So what's the accent rule? You can't. There are certain cultures you can't do an accent.
No, I think you can do it if you like nail the voice.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
If you're really,
I didn't know
it.
that.
But you sound nothing like Jackie Chan.
Oh,
That's the problem.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So the next time I do like an Irish or a British character accent, I have to sound like that character. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Who gives
Yeah,
a
exactly.
shit?
You don't know what you're talking about.
I
'cause
really
it's a non-issue.
Yeah, it is.
I do have a superhero count.
Okay.
Only 2. The first one is my MVP, Sonata. Kenji. He was in The Wolverine.
Oh, sure. There are a lot of Asian fellas in that movie.
Yeah, he played a character named Shingen.
Oh, that's like an actual character from the comics, though.
Right.
Okay,
I figured that.
Yeah.
And Max von Sydow.
Yeah.
He's in 3.
Okay, so extremely loud and incredibly close. He played 9/11 man. Yeah. All right, who you got?
Well, if Flash Gordon counts,
I guess.
he played Ming the Merciless.
Oh God! Talk about racism.
Yeah, that had to be the most race. Oh boy, you picture him? They probably gave him some big eyebrows. And
Yeah.
a Fu Manchu.
Big time.
He was in Conan the Barbarian,
Okay.
and he was in Judge Dredd.
Sure, Judge Dredd. They're working on a new Judge Dredd.
I know, and he played Judge Fargo, which is a great show. Everyone should be watching this year.
So good, man. That Peter and the Wolf stuff this week, so good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
very good. Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure my mother's really excited that I'm recording a podcast about Rush Hour 2 and 3 instead of hanging out with her.